By the time the Beatles actually came on, well, you could barely contain yourself.
We were all standing up and people were standing on seats, weren't they, and shouting and screaming.
And in those days, the St John's ambulance were all over the place.
That's
you know,
right.
girls were being carried out and fainting, and hysterical as it would have been seen in those days.
Yes.
It was just an amazing evening.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
In 1963, when the Beatles came to town, I was doing my first season on the beach in Weston as a donkey boy. And I remember them visiting the donkeys vividly and having their photographs taken. And I thought, what a strange bunch of lads. Long hair, strange accents. I'd never heard a Liverpool accent before. But I saved my wages and I went out and bought a Beatle jacket on the back of that.
My father, he was in the St John ambulance and he used to have to do picture duty and things like that. And he rang up one evening and said that they were going to be selling tickets for the Beatles. And that was going to be at the Odeon at Weston-Super-Mare. So we went down the following morning and we got 4 tickets. We didn't really have to queue, and we were there on the first night. We had seats in the front row, and one of the things that he said about, and he wasn't the sort of person that normally went to concerts, was how smartly dressed everyone was, because on the same bill were Jerry and the Pacemakers, and it was a terrific atmosphere. But we actually heard all the songs. And I mean, what it was like for people that were further back, I'm not really sure.
Well, I'd seen the Beatles at the Odeon a day before, and my friend and I came to the Royal Pier hoping we'd see them and maybe get their autographs and speak to them. We tried to get in the front door here and were promptly thrown out. So we walked round to the back of the Royal Pier, and there's this huge wall with a big terrace on the top. So we climbed, with the help of a couple of older boys that were already stood on top of the terrace. They were pulling us up and we were on each other's shoulders hauling ourselves up, and we got to stand on the ledge right at the edge of the terrace, and the Beatles were out there, all sat there having coffees and just relaxing because it was a beautiful sunny day, and they were so friendly and so nice and just came over and gave us their autographs and had a little chat, and they were just like 4 ordinary fellows and basking in the sun on a beautiful day in Weston.
1963, my friend Judy and I were only 13. We were very naive at that time. We came out, caught the bus, got off outside, and then we didn't really know what to do, so we walked round the back, all on our own, just the 2 of us, nobody else around at all. Heard the voices up above on a balcony, and thought, it's them. And I said to Judy, you've got to give me a leg up this wall here, try and get me up. Well, I fell back down, and then she managed to actually get me on her shoulders, and my head just reached over the top of the wall. So I thrust, they said, oh, hello. I thrust my autograph book over, and Beatles Monthly magazine, and they passed it round and asked me my name, and said hello, and back down I went.
In 1963, when I was 14 years old, I was unfortunately in hospital, in Weston General Hospital, and when the Beatles came to town, there was 2 young girls who were hiking down to Weston to see the Beatles. I'm not sure where they were from, but unfortunately they were picked up by somebody, and one was murdered and the other one was left for dead, but survived. They took her to Weston General Hospital, where I was, and we were told that the Beatles were going to come that afternoon and visit this poor girl. So I was in the upstairs ward, which had an outside balcony, so we were able to go outside and wait for them to arrive, which they duly did in their lovely black limo. And as they stepped out, they looked up and gave us a wave and then went in to visit the girl.